You are live. Here we are. We have Jalisa Kelly in here, and I'm excited. I'm excited. Um, I want to know everything about you.
No.
I'm acting like I don't know who you are,
Okay.
but for those who don't know who are you? Where are you from?
Okay. I am
And what
Jalisa.
are you doing?
Okay. Okay. I'm Jalisa
Right.
Kelly. I'm from Niagara Falls. You may not know that because I'm really low key. So some people think I'm from Canada. Some people think I'm from elsewhere, but I'm from Niagara Falls, born and raised. Um, and what do I do? I'm currently a medical student at the UB Jacob School of Medicine. So close to getting that MD, working towards becoming a physician. So yeah.
Wow. So we got lots to cover. We have lots to cover. So from Niagara Falls, New York, not Canada.
Get it straight.
Um,
NY. I love Canada, but NY.
Come on, we don't have much, but we have something.
Come
So born and raised in Niagara Falls, where did this motivation to want to be where you at today?
Ooh, wow. You coming out the gate with a good question. Uh, okay, so I know our city, it's not the easiest place to grow up, but I truly thank God because it takes a village, and I truly believe in that philosophy. Um,
Hmm.
I was a kid, I grew up with a single mother. So if you don't know me, which a lot of you probably don't, grew up with a single mother. So the main thing in our household was stability with any and everything, stability.
Mm.
She provided that. And not only did she provide that, but the people who were also in my life, whether they be family, friends, neighbors, teachers, they also provided that for me. So being that I had this network and this village around me, I always had people who saw something in me, even from a young age. So being like 5, 6, I knew like I liked to read and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The teachers would say things to me. My grandparents, my mom, she would tell me, "You're smart. You're capable." They would have me doing little alphabet books and learning words, even at a
All that right.
feeding my brain. So I think that is kind of what motivated me academically early on. And then once I got to like middle school, I just something switched for me. And I was just like, I'm gonna give this school thing. I'm not good at sports. Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I can't dribble. I don't got handles like Harden. Um, um, I'm not. I mean, I could carry a tune every now and then, but I'm no Mariah.
Okay,
I'm no
okay.
Beyonce. So I figured giving myself fully to my academics would be the best way for me to make a way for myself and not only myself but for my family. And ever since like middle school, I've always had kind of like a tunnel vision. I've always seen much more for me beyond Niagara Falls. Like um, I've always envisioned, been a visionary kind of.
I can definitely you know me well enough. I definitely understand that wholeheartedly. Where you have tunnel vision, and no one can necessarily understand what that vision is. Nobody can see it like the finish line, but you've been true to what you want. You had that tunnel vision since day one. So from outside looking in, shout out to you because it's not easy, like you said, especially from where we come from.
Right.
Uh, you know, we don't have too many people that look like us that done it before.
Speak on
Um,
speak on
so
it.
so could you tell me a little bit about that? Like how where in the field that you are in, I'm correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure your cohort is not full of is it extremely diverse? Uh,
Uh, Unfortunately, my class is not the most diverse, but the classes
okay.
after us, faculty and staff have worked on creating a more diverse student body. But unfortunately,
Oh my God, you sound like a higher ed professional when you said that. You sound like my field. The
um,
faculty is working hard to make it.
Stop. You gotta put on the business voice. You gotta know how to turn it on and
Come
off.
on, that code
I'm
switching is crazy.
like statistics. No, but most of my class, it's not really diverse. And then even in the hospital, I don't see a lot of me, you know?
So, and that's where I was kind of going with, like, if you don't see a lot of yourself or a lot of representation, who is someone that look like you that motivates you? Do you have anybody like that? Do you have a mentorship?
Um,
What happened? What you did?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, be honest.
Ooh,
I really don't have any. I have black physicians in Buffalo, that I kind of see here and there, and that I'm like, oh, I like her work ethic, or I like the energy whenever I come around her. Um, but I just feel like I have not met my mentor yet, if that makes sense. Like the person I can click with and who I can share with, even beyond a professional level. So for me, that has always been like a struggle on top
mm,
not being fully represented in my profession and what I go to school for, not having the mentorship um, aspect. So it makes it a bit difficult because for me, I don't have any, like my mom, she's a doctor of nursing practice. She's not like a physician though. She has her doctorates, but she's not a MD. So she's
yeah,
been through medical school. So a lot of the kids I go to school with, their parents, they're doctors, surgeons. They know the blueprint. So
mm,
they're already
mm,
getting the keys. So for me going through it, it's all these new things and new feelings and feeling like, imposter syndrome, if you've ever heard that phrase.
yes, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Feeling like you don't belong because it's easy to feel like that when you don't have a lot of people, and especially black people. And then on top of that, I'm a woman, so I don't have a lot of people around me or who look like me who could really give me those keys. You know what I'm
yeah,
I mean, people are open to that, if you go up to them and confront them, hey, I just want to know, how did you get through this, or so and so. They do give you advice, but it's really hard. It's really hard. I'm not gonna be or sugarcoat it when you're only the
yeah,
percent of the profession. It's hard. It's a battle getting up every day sometimes, going into work, knowing you have to laugh at certain jokes, or you'll be seen as the standoffish med student or black female doctor who got a little attitude, but it's really not that. It's all these microaggressions and stereotypes you come in with to work knowing you have to fight off. And so it's an added layer of pressure. So on top
yeah,
of saving lives, I got to make sure, I'm giving off the proper vibes, unfortunately, because anything, little thing I do, any little thing I say in the wrong way can be taken out of context. And that becomes,
mm,
unfortunately in medicine, we do not have black women, we don't have the benefit of the doubt. We don't have the benefit of the doubt. Even when it comes to sometimes presenting on a patient, and I'm like, hey, the labs came back. This guy, he has this. I remember one time, one of the residents, he swore, he's like, no, you didn't see the MRI. You didn't see it. And then he checked it. He was like, oh, my bad. It's here. So it's things like that. You constantly have to build yourself up in this environment that's full of alpha males that are
yeah,
Caucasian. I love my Caucasian peeps who are woke. And,
yeah.
but it is taxing, to be honest, because I'm
So let
saving
me ask you.
lives and then dealing with that stuff too. So
So let me ask you that. What do you have any mechanism? Do you have any strategy put in place how to continue to have a? Because from what I see outside looking in, once again, is you're still positive. You still have a good spirit about yourself. It doesn't seem like it's extremely effective to you. So how do you keep that level headed and not let it does it or does it still bother you, or do you have mechanism in place that kind of help you navigate that?
right now, I'm in a much better place than when I started. Um,
Mm.
and I've talked to my mom because she experiences this at
What's
Memorial.
up, Bradley?
Hey, Radley. I talked to some of my other black female classmates and we just vent. We just be like, girl, did you see or hear what so and so said to me? So it's like you need those safe spaces. So that has helped me Not isolating myself so much, but realizing I'm not the only one feeling these things and going through these feelings. On top of that, what else also has helped me, I don't want to make it seem like I'm so positive, like, oh my gosh, I'm having great days, I'm bouncing back quick, I'm rocky with it. Like, no. Um, if we're being honest, to whom much is given, much is required. And one of my advisors
Mm,
always tell me that. And I think people, we always want to elevate, we always want to do great things, but you got to realize as you ascend into higher levels, the battles you face are bigger. Not
come
just in
on.
my profession, but also in my personal life. Like, I get hit, I get knocked from all sides. You couldn't even imagine some of the stuff I deal with on top of going to a hospital, sometimes dealing with death. So, all that stuff, I'm not trying to say, hey, I'm perfect or I have the blueprint. And
Right.
but one thing I try to do, and one thing I'm learning to give myself more credit for, is bouncing back. Your ability to bounce back, and see beyond your current circumstance. If you looked in your past, you were able to get through 100% of your bad days. Am I right? Like, if you look in
Come
your
on.
past, all the deaths, you got through those. Yeah, they hurt. All the heartbreaks, you got through those. Yeah, it was brutal, but you're here, you know? And that is what kind of fuels me. Yes, I might get down on myself a little bit about certain things or certain things that are going on, but I always make sure to kind of have the end vision in mind and look at everything kind of as like a lesson. Like, what am I getting out of this?
Yo, everything you say is amazing right now. I wish we could have more one-on-ones like these moments because it's crazy because yo, I see nothing but growth. I don't necessarily get to see this side of you. Like not saying necessarily I see a bad side. I see the real Jalisa, obviously, but it's just more so like these type of conversation, and I'm just hearing you and you saying everything you saying nothing but facts, pretty
But
much.
even though I'm
You,
saying facts, I don't want people to think, I'm handling everything. Like, yes, I do handle things that come to me and I'm able to bounce back. I have no other choice.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
but I want people to realize, have some compassion and grace with yourself. If you're feeling down or if you're feeling like down and out and tired, like sometimes I give myself the space to feel that and just feel that. I don't care if it's for the day, for half the day, and then I'll be back. But I gotta sometimes a part of my self care is giving myself the space to feel exactly what I'm feeling, whether it's sadness, anger, um, and then I can work my way from that.
Come on. And it's crazy that's what I teach my students. Because I think people always try to work, just kind of get through it. I can get through it. I can get through it. But sometimes the best thing is working through it. Not trying like, oh, I'm about to be better next week. I'm about to be. Sometimes you just gotta kind of go through the motions and be within yourself and kind of bounce back. So I totally agree with that. And honestly, Jalisa, COVID really kind of forced me to kind of get through that. That was really a big struggle for me, believe it or not. And as someone that's an extreme extrovert, extreme positive, it was definitely difficult. And I kept on saying, no, next week, next week. And I remember having a brief conversation with my boss to say, "What?" Pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, like, why are you giving yourself a time to let that happen? Sometimes we just need to kind of go through it,
Mhm.
and that's how we stay positive. Like people, like you were saying, like even for me, I'm a positive person. People don't know I have these moments where I don't want to be around nobody, or
Right.
like I go through these motions, and but when people see me, is I'm on hello, hey, but man, but you say all this. Let's backtrack real quick.
Okay.
Because let's not talk about Jalisa in med school. Let's talk about Jalisa prepping for med school. So, talk to me a little bit about like what preparation did you have to make when applying to med school?
So, okay. I had 4 years of undergrad at the University at Buffalo. They can't get rid of me. I've been there for a while now. So 4 years of undergrad, and at first, when I went into undergrad, I was a nursing major. Then I switched to psychology. So what I'm getting at here is important. It's okay to switch up, okay, during the beginning of college. So
Typical.
typical,
More often than not, sorry, higher ed me. More often than not, a first year student either change their major twice or three times.
right? If you at
Go
the end of
ahead.
freshman year, if you have not gone from a pharmacy major to a communications major, you doing something wrong. But but what I'm saying is, I did 4 years of undergrad, and so at first I was kind of really uncertain about the doctor thing, but it was just something I couldn't shake. I was like, I do want to be in charge. Like I do want that pressure. I do want that role. And I felt like a part of me was settling in some aspect
Hmm.
and letting fear creep in and being like, well, this is why you can't be a physician. This is how much it costs. There's not a lot of
Come
people
on.
who look like you. You may not be as smart as those other kids. Hey, you haven't even done research yet. Do you even know how to do research? So all those things were speaking to me in the back of my mind. All the what is, what is, what is, what ifs. And I was entertaining them at times. But then I think around my junior year, I was just like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Like, what do I have to lose? I'm just going to dedicate myself to this dream that is not leaving me for some apparent reason. It's not leaving me no matter how much I try to convince myself otherwise. So with that being said,
Mm.
I study hard. Like I remember freshman year, I would go to stuff and events and like UB has great extracurriculars. They have like African Student Association, Black Student Union, Caribbean, like every student association you could think of, UB has it. So during my freshman year, I was active in
They
all
do. They do. They do.
they do. So I was active in all that stuff, but I then remember maybe like after freshman year, I was like, okay, like my grades weren't bad at all, but I just knew I was like, if I'm gonna do or keep medicine and being a physician on the table, I can't be mediocre. So I just remember
Mm.
turning down like some of my hallmates. I'd be like, girl, yeah, we're going to the ASA fashion show. I'd be like, all right, okay, I'm studying tonight. So it required also a great level of sacrifice.
First, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
people don't want to do that no more though.
yeah.
Um,
No, they don't. They don't.
but it required a great level of sacrifice. So I studied hard. Research is also an important component. Like they like to see that you did research on your resume. So during the
Mm.
summer between my junior and senior year, I did research, and I just got in close cahoots with my professors. Yeah, it's 400 people in the lecture hall, but you're gonna remember me. I'm gonna sit in the front.
Come
I'll
on.
bother you after lecture. Hi, how are you? Yes. Oh, what's your office hours? Like stuff like that. I would be trying to network and make sure you remember my face, you remember my aura, you remember my energy. And so that is what I did all through undergrad. Then I applied and I got into an early kind of assurance program for med school. So that really helped a lot too. And then
Mm.
even though I was still feeling, I still had a little self doubt in the back.
Yes.
I remember like my senior year, and this is how I knew like it was meant to be. Remember my senior year, I applied for the scholarship like I think 2 days before it was due, like 2 days, because I had just found out about it, and it was called the Diversity and Inclusion Scholarship. I applied for it and I got it. So I was like, okay, this is it. This is meant. Like you
Mm.
signs that align with the dream. It's like, okay, this is meant to happen. Like this makes
Hmm.
sense. It clicks, or this door wouldn't have opened. So the
That's
rest of
true.
the history, yeah.
So hold on, because you just that was a time lapse in itself. So wow.
Mm.
First and foremost, wow. And shout out to you because I'm enjoying this conversation because I want to. Is this? I feel like all Black people just have to go through this. I feel like those who try to go through a point where they're trying to elevate themselves, that it's always that extreme feeling of imposter syndrome, man. And maybe I'm not too sure. I don't want to put anything in your words in your mouth, but maybe that self doubt is because you probably haven't seen people do it. You haven't seen a person that looked like you do it.
No, I have like coming from Niagara Falls, I can't think of one black female doctor. I really tried,
What? No.
and so
Where?
that 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 would make anyone nervous. It'd be like, well, nobody has ever done that. But
I get it.
sometimes you got to be the first.
Sometimes you have to be the first, and I'm glad you truly started to tap into yourself, and knowing like, yeah, this is actually what I'm meant to do. And
Mm.
I think I had a similar moment where even when it comes to the music aspect of it for myself, I had these moments where I'm like, I don't know, or just saying nah. But everything I kept on doing that was part of that industry, I kept on seeing good like success out of it. I'm like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do. And
Mm.
then even the higher education aspect of it, that the mentor aspect of it, the personal ability, the personable part as I can be with it, and that the impactfulness too, because I'm working with first years and sophomores, so I'm really working with as soon as you come in the gate, I'm really helping you navigate, and that says a lot. But
But
so
listen,
okay,
wait,
go
hold on.
ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I
no, no, you fine.
don't get real spiritual, but praise God. I believe in God, Jesus Christ, Lord and personal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also
Hallelujah.
with what you said, that's so important. I believe that if something is meant for you, God makes provision for that thing.
Come
So
on.
no matter what your doubt is, no matter what fears you have, if it is supposed to manifest in your life, if it is supposed to happen, God will open doors that you disqualified yourself from. Like
Come on.
scholarship, I didn't think I was going to get it. I'm like, it's 2 days ahead. The whole med school thing, I'm like, nobody has ever done that. But he qualified me. Like I didn't need nobody else to qualify me. So when God qualifies you for something, when something is meant for you and ordained in his will and his plan, he'll open the doors, he'll connect you to the people, he'll connect you to the opportunities,
Oh,
he'll
good.
financial blessing for the business. It'll all align. You'll be like, how? What in the, you'll be amazed. So
Yeah, he did that for me.
yeah,
I thought,
you know,
and I needed that. I needed that. And even one of my favorite quote right now that spoke to me a little bit through the pandemic was John 13:7. He says, what he said. See, I always be forgetting.
don't be making up stuff.
No, no. He said, you do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you will understand.
Yes,
And that always stuck with me because, say it one time.
I needed that one.
Yeah, it stuck with me because it's like, I, but I never realized what's going on, but I always get to a point where it's just like, either I needed to go through that or I'm where I'm supposed to be. I
Mm-hmm,
never thought I'd go into higher ed. I never thought I would be assistant director outside of grad school. Never,
mm-hmm,
never. And I was doing what you're saying you was doing, just like second guess myself, like, oh no, I can't do it. I was sick. But that's only because I didn't have the right mentorship at the time. And I think Fedora really opened that up for me because that's when I started to see black professionals, black men and black women professional, and just seeing how they nurtured you and made sure that the people of color, the students of color, was good. They're going to tough love. They're going to make sure you're good because they just want to make sure you are good because they're not around. You know, but okay, let's now we travel a little bit further back. We're going back.
oh, I'm back.
We're going to NFHS class by
Woo!
2013.
That hey ho
Uh,
2013. All the
who
gold.
was Jalisa in high school?
Oh, I think I was in AP classes, but outside of that, I was goofy. I think I was pretty goofy.
It's still
Um,
goofy.
still goofy. But really still academically focused. Like all through high school, I was thinking about college, honestly. Like all through high school, I was thinking about college.
You
I was
was ready.
lit. I tunnel vision. I was thinking about college, where I was gonna stay. Did I want to go to Temple? Did I want to go to Pitt? Like
Oh
I was
wow.
thinking about that stuff. But yeah, I was involved in like maybe chorus and stuff every now and then, the drama department. But in high school, I was just a goofball and um, really have a close knit of friends that I still have today. Really wasn't all over the place. Like I said, tunnel vision. I had
And
to
what?
look at things.
Sorry.
No,
That
you're.
what I love about your friend group, obviously, because one of my brothers is part of your friend group, but
Mhm.
but just like it, because your group remind me of my group. We all are in different places in life, but we all doing something with our lives. No
Mhm.
matter what type of success, no type of level that you at, whatever we are at, we are being productive citizens of society. You know, and, and but to still have that close net. Y'all been friends with since Niagara Middle.
Since okay, so Bradley and I, that friendship since sixth grade. And then like I didn't meet D, your brother, and Nick till like ninth grade. So it's been 10 years as a collective, as a whole group, um, that we've all been friends. So 10 years since ninth grade, since ninth grade, and I
A
like
lot of
it.
people can, and a lot of people can't even say they got friends like that. I'm not gonna,
But that's
my,
important too. You need solid individuals around you, and I think that could either be your downfall, or that can be something that propels you in the right direction. I think a lot of people, just because I'm friends with them for 10 years, doesn't mean I think people get longevity confused with the quality of the friendship.
quality.
Like I'm
And
used to having you around, but yo, we still doing the same thing. We still clocking in. Like, and that's not what you want to do. Ain't nothing wrong with clocking in the world of entrepreneurship and forex. Ain't nothing wrong with clocking in. Choose your lane. But what I'm saying,
keep on talking. We not. We're gonna go past that.
so no, your tribe, not it's not just your family, but it's also your friend group. You want to be around people who elevate you, who pour into you. Your friend group should be making you be like, oh, wait, do I got an IRA? What is that? If they're not challenging your frame of thought, if your friends are making you uncomfortable in some way, and I'm not saying the shady
Right,
frenemies
right.
type thing, but your friends should be challenging you,
Thank you.
challenging you, challenging you to develop your character, challenging you and holding you accountable. Like, hey sis, that's not cool. Sis, you messed up for that. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And I think sometimes we get the longevity confused with a substantial relationship. Like, oh, we've been friends for like since 16, since 12. But have y'all grown? Like, let's keep it a bug. I think it's important also to take inventory of your friendships.
Inventory of your
Inventory of
friendship.
friendship.
Oh my God.
What is that?
I'm about to put that on the banner.
Are they making you more comfortable here? Sis, that you wanted to move last year, but your friend is keeping you in the same shenanigans here. So it's like, take inventory of your friendships. Important.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. The first time ever, I have to make a banner right there.
Uh, you got to. And we're at the age now too where we're like all 20 in our 20 somethings, about mid
We
20s. Some people
listen. I got time to waste.
uh,
I feel you. Like I'm be 27 in October 6th to be exact. Just in case you want to buy me a birthday present.
okay.
Or anybody that's watching. Um, we don't have time to race waste and yeah waste. I can't get my words together today. Um, and I tell my when you just talking about you need if you're not having no friends that challenging you, that not motivating you or anything like that. I think I'm very blessed to have the friend group I have because they would definitely humble me. They would definitely keep me grounded, and we challenge each other too as well. We have difficult conversation,
Come on.
that make you uncomfortable. But I'd rather have a conversation with my boys than have a conversation with somebody else. And
Come on.
then kind of going back to what you were saying about the elevation too again one of my favorite conversation is I tell my students too, and I think I mentioned it before on I think season one, but it's a video of ASAP Rocky and Snoop Dogg talking, and they're just having a good conversation. And they get to a point where they talk about friends and the elevation of friends. He talk about you have to close the gap. There's only two ways you can close the gap. Is that either where you at. Say you're a celebrity, right? No, we're gonna just say where you at, doctor. And then all your friends is watching Netflix, smoking, and just chilling all their life and not doing nothing motivation. And they want to be where you at. There's only two ways to close this gap: is either you come down or they come up. Why would you want to come down? That's you, your success is up here. So
Mm-hmm.
they have to elevate. They gotta want it. I tell my students too. I can't want you to have a degree. I can't want it more than you. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot want it more than you. I had to want it more than anybody else to get the 2 degrees on my wall.
That's it. And we gotta stop playing the savior complex. Like that whole savior syndrome. I'm at a place at 25. I can't save nobody who does not want to be saved. I cannot care for you
Come on,
more than you could care for yourself. I cannot help you beyond what you're willing to do. I can make you uncomfortable and I could make you kind of shift your frame of thoughts and I can make you confront some things in yourself. But each of us has an individual responsibility to take our own lives into our own hands and take initiative. You can't help nobody who does not want to help themselves. And the sooner you learn that,
come
the
on,
the better.
come
No matter
on,
how long they've been around, no. And please also the comfortability thing is so important. And I think we love to be comfortable. I get it. I love being comfortable too.
yes, yep.
Everybody always talking about new month, new change. But really, how many of us like change? Keep it
Come
above.
on,
How many of us like change? And so I think any person who comes into your life and shakes up the status quo, not in a negative way, but there's levels to this, but anybody who can come in your life and shake up the status quo and have you thinking and challenging some of your negative thoughts, some of your bad habits, you need to keep them around. That's a sign of a good friendship. Challenge me, make me see me.
come on,
So yeah.
come on, come on. And sometimes you have to take inventory of your friendships, man. You have to weed out.
Mm-hmm.
We say again,
Quarterly.
Qu- quarterly. No, that is a fact. Because sometimes, more often than not, your success is because the people you hang around with. Those are the reflections. Those are the energies. Those are things that's bouncing off on you. And sometimes it's hard to find the positivity when a group around you just keep on showing you something else.
Right.
So, so where was I? We was in high school.
Okay.
Jalisa was a funny person. Okay, all right. So I'm a little all over the place in this conversation, but this is how I am. But everybody get the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, as an educated Black woman, because we
Mm-hmm.
just talk about friendships, and move on to a little bit personal. What about relationship? Is it hard for you to find um, an individual because of your education? Because I will say, from my experience, that it's hard for me to find a woman because they are intimidated by my education. Now, people always assume that I necessarily would like to be with a woman that's educated. Education doesn't necessarily equivalent to success to me. Success would be different type of thing. So, like I told you, like if you be a productive citizen of society,
Okay.
we can, and then the type of energy, maybe it might be some type of motivation because you're not where you want to be. I can motivate you. We could be a team together, anything like that. So, I say all this to say is like, do you find it hard? Um, in the dating in the relationship scene, being an educated Black woman on fact or intimidation? Do men find you intimidating? Let me just say that. Do men find you intimidating for your education?
I'm not sure, but if you're intimidated by me, you probably don't need to be around me. Uh, because that's not shade or anything, because that reflects on you and some insecurity you may have. So if you're intimidated by me, chances are if we get a relationship, competition between each other, and I'm not trying to be in competition with my partner. That makes no sense.
Right.
Um, I really don't know because I'm not really out there in the dating world. That's just not
Yeah.
me. I'm not shooting shots. I'm not putting myself out. Jersey, the rap, you know. I'm not really in that, but it sometimes is difficult. Um, just because you never really know someone's intentions. Uh,
Yeah.
you could think people are good. Everybody, we live in the generation of you know, appearances. So everybody looks good and everybody's on social media and everybody has the perfect pictures and everybody has the good quotes on their stories and everybody is so aware and so in the know and so wise and oh my goodness. And then in real life, it doesn't translate. So for me, that's why I'm really not on that, the dating wave, right?
Yeah.
I'm really just focused on trying to be the best doctor I can
Come
be,
on.
best woman I could be. Because I'm not gonna lie, I got some stuff to work on as a black woman.
Okay.
But as far as dating, I really wouldn't know if anybody has ever been intimidated by me or afraid to shoot their shot. Like, I'm a pretty chill person. I'm not one of those mean girls who are gonna screenshot, girl, let me post this on my status. Look at this chicken head. I'm not one of those type of people like that. But my thing with relationships has always been I really don't care what level of education you have. I care more that you are driven and ambitious, that you
One
have
more time. Right?
integrity,
Say that D word one more
that
time.
you're driven, because
Come
you
on.
can't teach drive. I can't teach you how to want it. I can't. No matter who you are, no matter how old you are, you gotta want it for yourself.
You
So,
can't want it more than them.
mm-mm, oop, child. But in relationships, someone who's driven, ambitious, integrity. I'm big on character.
Mm.
Am big on character because yes, you meet doctors and guys who are in med school and they drive the nice cars and they look
Come
nice
on.
together, but the character is not in line. Something's off. So for me, I've always been a person, just in general, with friendships, relationships. I look at your character. Like, do you, when you say you're gonna do something, do you do it? I don't care if it's as little as a phone call or a text message. If you say I'm gonna text you, at 10 and you don't do it, for me, that's okay. Ding, integrity down 1 point. So I look at how you handle the small things because that
Come
tells me
on.
how you handle the larger things. Can you have integrity over a text message? Because some of y'all, oh, not some of y'all. No,
She slip it up, y'all. Go ahead, let it out.
for real though. Integrity is big with me. Honesty is big with me. Character is big with me. And you cannot teach character. Those traits have to be built in you. So that's important for me in relationships and a man, that your character is good, that you know how to, especially in a world full of followers, in a world full of, oh, this is hot today, this is trendy today, let me get this, let me get that, let me keep up. If you know how to be a man in your own lane and operate in that and thrive in that, that's attractive. That's attractive. Like,
Mm.
what your boys are doing. Like, yeah, you looking out for your boys, y'all interact, but you don't care what they doing. You don't care what wave so and so on. You don't care what wave your favorite rapper on. You're in your lane and you know what works for you. So
Come
therefore
on.
you can grow and therefore you can learn and therefore you can become wiser. But character is big with me. No matter what's your education level, character and that ambition and drive. I don't want nobody lazy because I'm not lazy because I'm gonna work for it. So how does that look if I'm with you? You don't
Come on.
put in 50%. Listen, this is what I say too. If notice the effort somebody gives too, effort is big for me as well, no matter your education level. Effort. If that person is giving you 50%, chances are, if y'all talking or whatever, they're gonna get 50% in the relationship. Then you know what? They're gonna get 50% in marriage. Then they're gonna get 50% to y'all kids. And then y'all kids gonna be some 50% kids. So I look at it like that. And
Wow.
I
Come on.
I can't do it. It's either all. I'm always been a person where it's either all or nothing.
Come
All
on.
or nothing. So yeah. But yeah, education and stuff, that no, because I know guys who got the education and the,
And still, yeah.
yeah, it's
And vice versa.
vice
Vice
versa.
versa.
It goes both ways. Character gets you a long way. It gets you a long way.
Oh no. Oh man. So when it comes to med school, how do you stumble upon a physician? Because couldn't you have done anything else? Is there? It, can, Educate me a little bit.
So, people who are interested in medicine, there's so many different things you can do. You don't have to just be a physician. I know a lot of nurses, a lot of NPs. You could be a pharmacist. You could be a dentist. Dentist, actually,
What's an MP?
nurse practitioner. I'm so sorry.
Come on for the list for the watchers, you know.
I know a couple nurse practitioners in the making in Niagara Falls, so look out.
Okay,
Be a
shout
physician
out.
assistant. And they do pretty much what we do, just like a little bit more limitations. But why I told you I wanted to be in charge. I want the pressure. I want
Mm,
in the room. Okay, 500 milligrams. He needs that IV here. Like I want to run it. It's a certain personality type too with physicians too. um,
yeah,
type A definitely. So I just knew I wanted to take this thing to the
she's
high
a type A.
to take it. I was like, if I'm gonna do it, let me do it at the highest level. And physician was that, and so that's kind of how I decided.
What? So let me ask you this. So you top of your game, right?
Yeah.
Bang, you got this crazy career. Would
Yeah.
you move? Would you possibly move on the administrative side, run the whole hospital?
Listen, I'm not opposed to that. Um, if that door opens and you want me to be in charge of a hospital, I'm not opposed to that. I imagine, honestly, if we're really talking, I imagine around 50-ish, 60-ish. Um, yes, I'm still a physician, but I'm not seeing patients as much. And I'm more doing running the hospital side of things and I'm teaching. That's what I imagine for myself. So, and I even like, depending on what I decide to do, what specialty I
Mm,
decide to do, I wouldn't even mind getting involved in the political realm, advocating for certain laws, certain
come on,
things, going against big pharma, like whatever it is, So I'm trying to take it into multiple avenues. So sky's the limit, really.
take it down. Come on, take down the systematic race. uh, wow. Um, she said, "I'll take charge." She said, "I'm not opposed to it." I just, I, I appreciate you. uh, so you will get into politics, you will get into other fields, like so. You saying,
If I wasn't a doctor, I was strongly going to consider being an attorney.
I mean, you could definitely do it.
I was
I mean,
that.
you can always go back to school. You know, that's always.
Once I'm done, I'm done. What? Don't ask my kids. It's gonna be hard enough. Then, mom, what's this homework? I'm done with school. I'm like on
Yeah.
that. Once I'm done, done.
She said, "Once I'm done, I'm done." And I hear you on that. Once I got my master's, I'm like, nah, but I'm
Right.
not gonna hold you. Nah, I got the bug. I'm not gonna hold you. There's
Mhm.
something else. This guy got something planned for me, and I'm itching. I gotta make it make sense. That's really what it is.
If he keeps nagging you and pushing you, and this one thing keeps coming up, yeah, you gotta go for it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk offline. We're gonna talk offline. No, but you absolutely right. You absolutely right. So we in the medical field. You pretty much a doctor, all right? So Dr. Kelly, Dr. Kelly,
Oh,
um, how has Corona has affect your career field?
oh, Corona has really changed kind of the med school process.
Yeah.
I know for like a couple months, med students weren't allowed in hospitals because they were just figuring out what is this? How do we handle this? And how do we protect our staff against this? So for a couple months, we weren't in the hospitals learning.
Mm,
Imagine every med student, you're used to getting up at like 6 a.m., getting ready for work, seeing patients, interacting with not only your patients, but staff. You see so many people in the hospital. It's like a whole big family, honestly, from the
mm.
staff to the physicians to the nurses. Like, that's how you interact. That's how you keep connected, with other people. So imagine going from that every day to virtual learning. And then on top of that, something
Mm.
in a hospital can't be done virtually. I can't listen to
No, that's
virtually. I can't really examine a patient. I mean, you can hear the heart sounds on a laptop or a
you
website.
was getting ready for the telemedicine. You was getting ready for you get ready for that.
It's been a lot of telemedicine now, and we wear masks every day. I got
Every-
direct every as soon as I get in the hospital, they take my temperature, they give me a mask. I gotta squint and recognize people. I'm like, hey, is that hey girl?
right.
That's what it is. So that has changed the med school process, even making certain things shorter, making more options available virtually as far as like electives and stuff like that. And then as far as the hospital, like I said, we wear masks 24/7, temperature checks as soon as you walk up in a hospital. But oddly enough, I feel safer in the hospital more than I feel outside because everybody has
Wow.
a mask, everybody's being more cautious. You have people cleaning the hospital 24/7. Like I've never seen hospitals get cleaned this much. Like as soon as you touch
Wow.
the button, somebody's let me wipe it down. Like
No,
play
that's a fact.
my bootsy. No, but
See, they like that at Target. You leave one of them machines. They're like, okay, 1 second.
hospitals are not playing, and it's a very more cautious energy around. So you can't cough anymore. I know you can't cough on the outside, but even like when we're going over certain notes or like rounding, people are a little more cautious when they sneeze or cough now. It's like,
And if you had a cohort of black people, they'd be extra. Like
mm-hmm,
she
mm-hmm.
gotta go,
Yeah,
Professor.
real
She gotta.
and no. Oh, did she cough?
This.
Sherry cough? Like nobody was worried about it.
Like you thought you heard something. Oh, like hold on.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought I heard a cough. Oh, okay. No,
It's
that's sorry.
your allergies, is it? Oh, and then you be trying to hurt yourself, trying not to cough. I've seen it a couple times. Like veins be popping out. It's like go to the bathroom and cough. Like, come on.
You try to hold it in, especially a
Jesus.
sneeze. Like
Yep. Thank God for the mask. But I'm not even gonna lie though. You cannot like coughing. I look at coughing differently now. Like if somebody's coughs without covering their mouth, oh, I feel so disrespected. Like I already felt disrespected pre-COVID, but now it's like you don't care if you did not cover your mouth. Oh, hey, I was like, where'd you go?
my computer just randomly shut off. It was the most
Wow,
random.
you gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Come on, that's why I had the iPad ready to go. iPad ready to go. I'm
Oh
like,
gosh.
what is going on?
Oh my
Wait,
goodness.
I ain't see none of these comments. We close to 30. Facts. What's going on? Everybody's so smart. Good answer, Jalisa. Damn, damn, I missed one lunch. Jalisa for president.
Where you get all these comments from?
I wasn't seeing it on my computer, but I'm seeing it now on here. Hold on, I got you. I pop these up. Somebody, my guy mindset. That's D Mob. Said
Uh,
facts. What's going
Oh, I
on?
just see it now. Wow.
D said I got that Android service.
Oh, you know what?
Listen,
Uh,
D is that guy that be watching his lizard from home. He better be
mm-mm.
quiet.
That new lizard.
He
Love
got a
that
camera. He be watching
lizard.
it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so let's get back to
All right.
it. I'm so sorry, y'all. Technology, you can't live with it or live without it. Um, I don't know where I was. Where
We were
were we?
talking about coughing.
Oh yeah. We don't play about that cough and stuff. No,
Yeah, we
absolutely not.
don't. Yeah, cover your like etiquette. It's just respect.
Yo, I just watched some man that didn't wash his hands when he left the bathroom the other day.
You'd be surprised at how many people do the quick. That's not enough.
Oh, yeah.
It's not enough.
Yo, and blatantly go like this, like
Yeah,
just kind of what?
in the era of COVID, that is not enough. You need to be happy birthday to you.
Come
I
on,
don't like we're so fast with everything now. So I think people think, oh, okay, let me just do some water. If you don't put soap on your hands
come
and
on,
lather with some warm water for 20 seconds, please.
come
So,
on.
mm-mm.
People need to go backtrack to the edit. Go back
You
to
gotta get back to
elementary.
basics.
Yeah, and then it's so crazy now. People want to use disinfectant wipes. Were you not using it before?
Oh, uh oh. Were you not using it before? Wow.
I just want to know. Is your house always been dirty?
Yo, I'm out.
Like, is
I'm
this
not even
your
gonna entertain you right
yeah,
now.
Jalisa? Is it your first time cleaning? Like, okay.
But I still can't get over it. Everybody got tissue. Okay? Everybody got tissue first. Back in March. Mm-mm.
like
Like,
y'all don't
is it
y'all need tissue?
tissue? Really?
What y'all drinking prune juice at the house?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Lactatives? Who cooking? Who cooking?
Tissue above all.
Did Karen not put seasoning in her food but lactatives though?
I'm out. Bye. Yeah, yeah. Mm-mm. Wow. You know what? But you know what? I'm happy. Now everybody's mostly on the same page, but our levels are creeping up here in Western New York, overall as a region. So,
Yeah, I met Governor Cuomo said something, and then next thing you know, you see a picture and walk in New York City with no mask on.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I, Yo, Jalisa, I thought we gotta lead by example.
Yep, we do. Angie, you got to put the mask on, boy. Like,
I
yeah.
guess he governor, he just immune to it. He probably got that new. He probably got that new shit that nobody got yet.
That invisible mask,
The,
that translucent mask.
she's pulling a SpongeBob.
But yeah, no, yeah. I hope it calms down though, because I think this is shaking. I don't know, it's shaking a lot of people up. And as far as mental health goes, those couple months where we were only trapped in the house,
Mm-hmm.
some of y'all was not trapped in the house, but those couple months, where we were trapped in the house, I think a lot of people's mental health, you know, did struggle during that
Yes,
time. You're
absolutely.
by yourself sometimes, so thoughts start to form in your head. You thinking about stuff from 1996,
Come
like
on, that
that's
un,
what happens.
that un that untapped trauma, that put away trauma.
Ooh, we could talk about trauma, but that's for like a whole different conversation.
Listen,
Because
I've been
I'm
reading.
so into mental health.
I'm watching. I'm reading a book called The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health, written
Mm,
by a black woman doctor.
mm,
I'm going to send her your way on IG. I'll send that your way.
okay,
Phenomenal so far. She just off the rip started talking about black suicide. I said, let's go into nitty gritty.
let's
Uh,
get real.
and
Because
then
we act like trauma isn't real in our community. I think we just title it the struggle, and
come
we like,
on,
oh, you just gotta go through it. You just got
Jaleesa,
it's
she
normal to be
talked about that.
paranoid.
Hold on.
It's normal to be, come home feeling horrible. It's normal to be demeaned by your parents. It's normal to have your feelings invalidated by, your higher ups or authority figures. That's not normal. A lot of the things we were taught are normal. We have to unlearn them. So like, and I
Unpack and unlearn.
yes, I need black people for our well-being to realize we have undergone trauma. Like even before some of us were here with slavery, that's traumatic. Mass incarceration,
Generational trauma.
come on, traumatic. Come on. Black woman being sexualized as a little girl, traumatic.
Not good enough.
Come
Lesson let
on.
you the last person, pretty much the less than a dollar. You make the less out of a dollar out of,
That
and,
stuff is traumatic. You're
and you the most
constantly told,
educated.
yes, you're constantly told by our society as a black person, you are less than. It's not even like people think, oh, it's not explicitly said. At this point, it is, first of all. And the fact that we don't get paid as much, we get looked over for jobs. What does that communicate to black people as a whole? It communicates to you, I'm not worth something. I'm worth less. I'm less than. And you internalize that as a child, even you internalize those things from our society, and those things are traumatic. Watching a black body die, I don't care if it's right in front of you or on the internet, that's traumatic. That's traumatic.
Yeah, what we going? What happened in Buffalo is traumatic. You know, that's traumatic. How are you navigating all this, Jalisa? You know, a lot has happened. You know, a lot has happened. Um, how are you navigating as a black person?
I am someone who will go ghost. I'm gonna say that I am someone who will go ghost. And that's not because I don't care about the cause, not because I'm not down. Sometimes for my mind and my mental health, first of all, I don't watch the videos. After
Yeah.
Philando, mm-mm, mm-mm. I cannot do that to my mental, to my spirit. I just cannot watch the videos. If you share it, I will be like, oh, scroll real
Yeah,
fast.
right.
Right, because it does something to me. It literally breaks my heart and breaks my spirit and puts me in a mind frame. Like any death, like really on camera and taken. Because I think of death as something that's sacred. Like I think sometimes we consume death like it's a TV show. It's not a TV
Mm,
show. This is someone's life. It's not a game. Like I'm going off track too. I remember even Nipsey Hussle's death. There was
yeah.
a video out, and I could not believe there was a video of this man literally CPR was being done on him, lifeless, and it's circulating like it's the latest episode of Grays. And I think sometimes we
Um,
trivialize death, and we got to be careful with that because these are real people and with real lives. You know, they didn't ask to be martyrs, and sometimes we make them martyrs in the movement. They didn't ask for that. You know, they're just people who these unfortunate racist prejudice acts happen to. So for me, I gotta tap out sometimes. I gotta tap out. I know what's going on, but I gotta tap out because for my mental health, I can only consume so much, at a time before I become angry, before I become, bitter, before I'm like in tears. I gotta balance it out, balance what I consume. And that's with anything, honestly, but especially if you're a black person now, have wisdom in balancing what you let into your ear gate, your eye gate, because some of the stuff we're letting in, yes, it's important to be in the know, to have information, but everything needs balance. Some of us, we done brought ourselves into Facebook arguments with people just not gonna get it. If you don't get off of Karen, I love Kitty Johnson's page, no, you have to have balance. I tell my mom that too. I'm not gonna put her on blast because sometimes she gets really worked up, and it's good to get worked up. It means you're passionate. It means you can identify with the hurt, with the pain. It's good to, but it's also good to channel that elsewhere. I'm no longer the person who's gonna argue with you on Facebook. For my mental health, I'm just not, sis or brother. I'm
I
not going to argue with
totally
you
agree.
on Facebook, especially if you've shown me you are not receptive to new information. You are comfortable with being comfortable. You want to keep it your way of thought and no other way. I can't work with that. What do we say? If you can't work with, same with the friendship. If you can't work with it, I can't work with it.
You could,
So why am I entertaining it?
and
That's
you
good.
know what?
My light, my energy, my passion for the cause. I'm getting caught up with Karen. I could be caught up donating, sharing a link to the
From
cause. You guys
that's why
it.
that's why when dude, I don't know if you see my post, dude called me a sheep. I say, you know what? I could write a whole paragraph. I could do blah such and such. But what I figured out, two things. One, I had way more to lose than this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I'm not about to give nobody the energy. Like you obviously you're choosing not to understand. You obviously blatantly choosing to have this bigot mindset, and
Mm,
I'm just gonna block you. I'm not gonna give you the time no more. I'm gonna block you. I don't know why you part of my friend group anyways. Block.
mm,
So just it's frustrating. And then I meant to say early on too, we was talking about being uncomfortable. What I like to tell my students as well is like we have to get more comfortable with being uncomfortable
mm-hmm.
because there's always growth in uncomfortability.
Right,
It's always growth.
right. Yeah,
So
correct.
we have you have made it through the 1 hour check in with myself.
Ooh.
So this is the part where I give you your flowers. So, Jalisa Kelly,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that I know you for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went to prom with you. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't know that. Um, I have watched you grown. I haven't seen all the adversities that you went through. I have heard some of it, but I only can imagine, especially being a black person, a black woman, especially being met. I want to say that I'm extremely proud of you. You are truly the person that is behind the quote that I continue to say. Is continue to be great and continue to inspire. You truly embrace that quote because what you're doing and this conversation alone is truly going to inspire people around you, people that's in our community. You are doing things that a lot of people in our community don't get to see. So now they get to see, like, yes, I can actually do it. I
Mm-hmm.
can actually do it, and that goes such a long way, such a long way. Um, just continue to do the fight. I'm like I said, I'm proud.
Thank
Um,
you. I'm proud of
I,
you.
I'm blessed. Hey, it ain't about me.
Ah!
Let me finish my flowers.
Okay, okay, all right.
I'm blessed to be able to call you a friend, and I really just can't wait to see what God has plans for you because this is only the beginning. Honestly, I think you'd be running your own hospital about 47, so
No,
45, 47. So
speak, speak it.
yeah, and I don't you're not gonna be here. I think you're more gonna be down south, to be honest. But
We'll see what the move is.
that's they used to call me Robin. You know what Robin in the Bible is the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. All right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Ian Robinson. Robin.
Bragging it a little bit, but we'll accept it. We'll accept it.
Yo, I can't win, huh? Is there anything last you would like to say?
Um, I guess to anybody out there who has a dream, and if you're one of the first people in your family to do something, or not a lot of people are doing what you're dreaming of or you're aspiring for, be encouraged. Surround yourself with good people, like we said. And if you need any advice from me, or oh, you see what I did there? If you need any advice, any wisdom, I'm still learning. I'm only 25, so bear with me. Um, but if you honestly have any questions for me about my journey, about even some of my struggles, growing up with a single mother, even dealing with gun violence and in my family and losing people to that. Like, if you have anything you want to talk about with me, what is said between us stays between us. If you want me to pray for you anytime, like for real, reach out to me. I'm not somebody who's going to spread your business. I honestly want to see
Absolutely
everybody
not.
win. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Thanks for having me too, as
No
well.
problem. Jalisa, I was happy to have you. I couldn't think of any other person I would want to interview because
Oh,
you doing great work. No, for real, you really doing great work. And Keyman, D, and G always gotta continue to remind myself because I just be in my tunnel vision, and
mm-hmm.
those who are not in the tunnel, they seeing all that, and sometimes you gotta take time to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
So please, Jalisa, take this moment and pat yourself on the back. And with that being said, continue to be great and continue to inspire. Thank you so much for joining me.